Chillax, 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 chillax. Relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, give it.
Camara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've got all W's on the ledger so far. A perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Tristan Deku picks it, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. A good pickup there at 22.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline. I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Operating from the gun, Johnson. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jesse James, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
It just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Miles Jack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Throw left side complete. It's Fisher. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well.
Odell Beckham Jr. Touchdown, Cardinals. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. And, his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy, but let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Right back to him on first down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Gets this one to Hill. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Tyreek Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fisher. Quick slant there gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they would have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, was it the team's execution or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game the way you're calling it. But if it's strategy, change up what you're doing.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Here we go now. Green.
He'll drop to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Bryant's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
No, Jack Patrick.
Coming left is Kamara, and some room to work. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll run it here with Logan. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw. Johnson. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
There he goes inside the 30. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A good pickup there at 22. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and have the ability.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Tyreek Hill, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line. Well, this is something you may have to deal with when you give the keys to the offense to a rookie quarterback. Now 2 first-half interception.
And you do expect it. But I think this deep into the season, you're expecting that to improve and not see it quite so often, or definitely not in this case. So when he goes to the sidelines and the head coach puts his arm around him, he might not be talking to him in nice tones.
Earl Thomas in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
No, Jack, Patriot!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Johnson throwing on first down. Going to throw deep for the ends. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Tyreek Hill on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while they'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. To throw now on first down. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he is in for a Seattle touchdown. Doug Baldwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This quarterback now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Johnson now operating from the gun. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Being chased out left. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Johnson on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On the carry, it's Logan. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Back to throw. Johnson. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a good gain. An excellent pickup at 34 yards.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out in the pistol. Looking to throw. Johnson steps away. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Cody Latimer, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. 5 plays there on that drive, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He hits Baldwin right side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
A great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when the Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and beat one guy at a time.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Eluding the pressure right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
This is Logan. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They run again with Logan, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Johnson. And some room to maneuver. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. 22 yards. And the Cards continue to pour it on. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale.
Here we go now. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
No. Check. Patriot.
On the ground, Kamara. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Flushed out right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Here's Johnson. From the gun, he'll throw. He may try and run for this. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. He had gained really good yardage. That's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Miles Jack in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On the ground, this is Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Shreds it, and he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make this a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Here we go now.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
No, check. Patriot.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Arizona, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang?